This gives us a little bit of a buffer.
Yep.
Share and this.
This is episode 91, right?
Yep.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, and the next star party will be our 16th star party.
Holy mackerel. That's a huge...
I could never do that many star parties running all over the country. You know, it's impossible.
It's an incredible volume of material that you're producing, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like what most clubs do yearly, a seminar every week.
Yeah.
With all the speakers and all the observers and astronomers. And
there's so much to cover though. You know, there's just we also reached out to this 16-year-old student. Her name's what's her name? Deepti Gautam, and she's in Nepal. And she's starting an astronomy club out there. She has started an astronomy club. So she's going to be talking about astronomy in Nepal, and she's going to do, I think she's going to do a 3-part series on the Global Star Party as well. So I also like having these young people on, you know.
That's so important.
Yeah.
Yep.
We already have Mike Wiesner on, and Richard Grace, and Tim Myers, and Bergman Scooter.
they've been with us since the first day, I think.
I know. Hey. Andrew Corkhill's watching. Andrew and I used to work together at Mead Instruments a long time ago. Yeah. What I do is I have like this 5 minutes of Hubble deep field images kind of stretching off into infinity. And what that does is it hypnotizes my audience. And there's subliminal messages in there for them to get out their credit cards.
Nice. And after they've paid for whatever scopes they're
Whatever it was. That's right. They don't quite remember anything, but they're left with this feeling that it was awesome, whatever it was.
And after the awesome,
Andrew says, Scott, we hear you. I know that.
You can ask them to count the galaxies then when they're done.
Yeah, that's right. Whoever gets the galaxy count right wins. Yeah, keep staring at the screen. You're getting sleepy. You feel your fingers start to tingle and your eyes begin to flutter.
That reminds me of the Hypnotoad on
Your bank account will drain like butter. Bergman says, astronomy and bicycles and trikes. What more can you ask for? Andrew says, I just ordered buttons for the iPad from your website. I don't even know why. It's working.
Proof positive.
That's right. Oh yeah, I need Twilight Zone theme music.
Yeah.
Mhm.
oh yeah. Or the outer limits. We control the horizontal, we control
the
vertical.
horizontal. Yeah. Control your brain waves.
From your inner mind to the outer limits.
Yeah. The galaxy count is infinity. You're the winner, Bergman. That was the number I was looking for.
It's
Stefan Del, I can't even remember, read the whole name there. It's too long. Del Prado or something. Thanks, Stefan. Thanks for watching, man.
it's the figure.
Yeah, they're excited that you're on, David.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Dave
Yeah, I
is,
know. No pressure, man.
Dave is a celebrity,
No.
just like Scott.
Well, hello, everybody. This is Explore Scientific, and the Explore Alliance presents OpenGOTO Community Live. So we're here with some of our regular crew, semi-regular anyways. Heath isn't always on, but we have Dave Eicher on with us, and I'm so excited, man. So excited.
Scott, great to be with you. Thank you.
Yeah, Dave is... I'll give you the stage here, but Dave is going to be on with us for Global Star Party, starting on Global Star Party 16, right? And
Right.
The title of your series of talks is, let's see.
Strange
I got it.
Tales from the Cosmos.
Yes, Strange Tales from the Cosmos. That's right. And so it's a 17-part series. And what was the inspiration for your for this talk?
Well, I'm delighted to have reconnected in a way. Scott and I have known each other, I must confess, for a long, long time, since we were both young, actually, a long time. But we've been pals.
You're still young, though.
Yeah. but it's a really exciting time to be in astronomy, of course, because it's a golden age of discovery. Some of what we found out about these big questions about astronomy, astrophysics, cosmology, planetary science, it's really a golden age of answering or beginning to answer some of those big questions that people have been thinking about for centuries or millennia even. And so I've been just blown away by the things that Scott has been doing online, and really honored to join you, Scott, to talk a little bit about some of this stuff. So Strange Tales, we'll talk about all these discoveries and what we know now and what we still don't know about some big thing, how the sun will die. How long do we have left on Earth as living beings? Really some uplifting subjects like that, but also really cool stuff too. What would really happen if you traveled into a black hole? Would you end up in another time and place in the universe? How many galaxies exist in the cosmos total? What in the heck is dark energy, and will we ever find out? So the list goes sort of on and on and on of 17 or maybe some more topics, but there's so much that we know now that's been synthesized with some of the great work that's going on, and that'll give us some playful, fun, and exciting details to talk about nearby us with, the moon and our own planet, all the way out to, 93 billion light years away to as far as the universe stretches. So I'm looking forward, Scott, to getting involved with this and having a lot of fun. And I hope a lot of questions and feedback on this stuff, because it's fun, and we'll approach, the line between science and science fiction, but we will be honest and upright, not only to Scott, but to Albert Einstein.
Oh, okay. To me, I mean, you could say anything, but Albert, you got to be right on the money, dude. So that's right. And isn't it amazing? I mean, just recently, some of the proving out of Einstein's theories and stuff, I mean, they're still holding up, so.
It's incredible. I mean, it's more than a century now, of course. since 1905. And, you know, by golly, if Einstein isn't right again and again and again and again and again. Somebody the other day talked to me about, you know, well, what fool, you know, what fools were we, you know, back in the 17th century, and Isaac Newton didn't know what the hell he was talking about, and thank God Einstein came along. And really, you know, we have to remember that science is a self-correcting process, and we learn more, and we have a refined, more complex understanding, say, of gravitation, of relativity, and so on. Doesn't mean that Newton's principles were fundamentally wrong, but we understand them courtesy of Albert Einstein in a more complex, sophisticated way. And that's one of the neat things about science, rather than just saying, well, I don't know, or it's, you know, fake news. You know, science actually checks itself over countless millions of observations and experiments, and refines itself over time. And we get toward those big answers.
Oh yeah. Well, it's going to be so exciting to have you on. You know, I'm just really, you know, you said that you were honored to be on the show. We are really honored. So this is a big deal for us. And you know, with a 17-part series, the audience is going to learn a lot. So thank you for coming on, David. And we will, you know, we'll be waiting with bated breath. Hopefully
Thanks
it's not too bad.
I hope we'll have a lot of fun with it, Scott.
We sure will.
It's a pleasure and an honor to be with you.
Thank you so much. Take care, man.
Thanks, Scott. Talk soon.
Thanks. Take care. Okay, so we are to the part of our show where we would normally talk with Tyler Bowman, but Heath Creekmore is taking over for this show. Because Tyler went off to do a stargazing event. So, but what's happening out there, Heath?
Well, I had everybody check their media. Facebook's looking good. YouTube's looking pretty good. No big questions of any type. Mm-hmm. I've been recently dealing with a gentleman that when he slews to an object with his PMC-8 Exos 2, it just stops when it gets there, and it doesn't do anything. So I'm trying to work through that problem with him.
You mean like it doesn't do any, it doesn't track, or what's
yeah,
that?
It doesn't track for him.
It doesn't
basically.
Track.
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah. Any insight to that, Jerry? What do you think?
Well, yeah, Heath and I were talking a little bit earlier. There's no physical or manual switch to turn tracking on and off. Except for the fact that when you park the mount, of course, it stops tracking. Whenever you slew to an object, it will start tracking. So there's no physical switch to turn it on and off that way. But there is this thing depending on the firmware version, that if you lose communications, if the tablet, and it won't bring up an indicator on the tablet that it lost communications, you'll have to look at the values that are reading. If the values aren't changing, and it's lost communications, then the mount will detect that and say, oh, after 20 seconds, I'll just stop. And so that's the key question I would ask. Is there a delay before it stops, or does he slew to the object and it immediately stops? So that's a very curious behavior, if that's actually the fact. You know, that's definitely not the way it's designed to work. I'm grasping at straws to understand why it would do that in terms of the code and how it works. So we need more information.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that from him. I'm just messaging back and forth. So just take some time.
Right.
I'm curious if anybody, is there any comments out in the audience about that? Has anybody seen any kind of behavior like that?
Let's see. I don't see any comments yet. CFox 0011 says it's worth changing the Wi-Fi channel. But that doesn't seem like that's the problem.
Well, until we determine that it's dropping the connection, but that's a primary first step, of course. Like you said, that's what we tell people to do, is to change the Wi-Fi channel to see if they can find a clearer, more reliable channel on the wireless.
Andrew has a question for you, Jerry. Is there an online resource that gives all the precise times of the transits, occultations, and eclipses of the 4 Galilean moons of Jupiter?
There's the IOTA is the International Occultation Timing Association. I think they keep track of asteroids and also planets, because we just recently at the MSRO observed an occultation with the moon of Uranus called Umbriel, occulted a star, and we captured it at our observatory, and it was really cool. Myron actually posted a video of it. I don't know if I shared it with our Facebook page or not, but that was so if you go to iota.org,
IOTA.
I think that's what it is. I'm not sure, but I think that might be what it
Let me
is.
double check it. Securing data. No.
Look up International Occultation Timing Association or something. I think that's what it's called.
Occultations.org. Well. There you go. So let me put that into. There we go. There you are, Andrew. So we've got some other comments here. Richard Grace said he's chewing on a Heath bar right now.
Cannibalism. That's all I got to say.
That's the first time you've ever heard that, right?
Chomping down on a Milky Way. Yeah.
That's the first time you've ever heard that, Heath, I'm sure.
Yeah.
No.
That's right. Jim Norwood, Jerry or Heath, do you have to be connected to the IXS 100 with Explore Stars or something for the mount to track? That is, if I just apply power and use it manually, will it track on the RA axis?
That's no, it won't just. So there's a 2-part question. You have to connect to a computer to get it running. All right, to get it tracking. Now with the ASCOM, and you can have the firmware. Okay, you can load the firmware version that disregards the watchdog timer for communications. And so if you drop communications, it will continue to track. Okay, at the sidereal rate. So yes, you can initially start it up with Explore Stars, as long as you have this version, which is the A version of the firmwares that are out there. So there's 2 versions of firmware for each mount. One's the standard, like 9T17, and then the other one's like 9T17A. The A versions are the version that have the watchdog timer disabled. So you start it up with that firmware, you connect with the Explore Stars app, and you go to your object, and then you just turn your tablet off, and it'll continue to track. And then you can manually move the mount around, move it, and the motors will continue to track, as long as you maintain power on it. So that's a way to use it manually. If you want to just move the mount,
you get it started,
loosen the clutches,
going,
right?
And then you can turn it off.
Right, and then you loosen the clutches and point it to whatever object you want, and it'll continue to track until you power it off. That's an interesting question. I never thought about doing that.
How about if your tablet battery died, it would still track, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool. Yeah. All right.
A lot of people ask for that because they're taking pictures and they got this imaging run going with their SLR.
You don't want it to stop tracking.
And you don't want it to stop tracking, so you want to go away. Maybe you want to take a nap for a couple hours, and you want to turn your tablet off.
Right.
If you're using Explore Stars, that's really the use case for that. Is people use Explore Stars with a digital SLR on their IXS 100. They got something going, and they just want to go off and sleep for a while. They turn their tablet off, and they come back, and it's still tracking right along. But to get it accurate, you need a good physical polar alignment for that, because it no longer uses the mount model to track if you're not polar aligned.
Ken Noble says, the only way I can get it to go back is to restart the mount. Mine slew to the object. Mine slew to the object and it would not track. And then I would turn it off for a couple of minutes, not dropping the connection.
Turn what off? His tablet?
That's what I assume.
Yeah. Well, again, it depends on what version of the firmware he's got, whether it's going to stop tracking or not.
Because
If he's turned,
originally that did not work that way. That's right. That's right. Okay. Chuck Stoss says, has it with ASCOM once I accidentally unchecked the tracking button in setup, but sounds like this is ES.
yeah, he's talking about the track to be able to enable start and stop tracking on the ASCOM driver. You have that functionality, but on the Explorer Stars,
That's true.
You don't have it.
Right, right. Ken again says the not tracking has happened on 3 occasions for me, but I've been working on the problem being repeatable. Well, if you do find it's repeatable, then we definitely want to know about it. We'd like to know about it anyways. So
Yeah, we need some details and step by step exactly what you did to get it to fail, basically.
yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Space Time with Robert. Hi, last episode, Mike Wiesner asked about radio telescope products. And I was wondering about that as well as any updates. You know, there is a company that did a radio, an amateur radio dish. I forget which one it was, but I was thinking it was an Italian company. Prima Luci, maybe. That would be, I can double check that.
There's also a way to monitor coronal mass ejections through shortwave radio, and it's basically a way to do that because of the interaction of the cosmic event to the atmosphere, and it changes the characteristics of the way radio waves travel. And you can record these coronal mass ejections as they hit the Earth's atmosphere. And there's a specific DIY kit you can buy to create this thing, and you have to build your own antenna. It's a big loop of wire, and then you add this receiver, and it feeds into your sound card or your microphone input on your computer and records the data that way and shows you plots. I'd have to go find it. I know one of our club members was took radio astronomy in college, and he had that system, and it works all the time. You can leave it on and record all 24 hours a day. But it's a kind of a cool system. It's not that expensive. I'll have to go see if I can find it.
Right. And I can put up let's see if they still have the radio dish. I'm not sure if they do or not. Prima Luci did have a dish called the Spider, I think is what it was called. And I don't see it. Back in 2017, they had this radio dish design, and maybe it just did not sell well enough for them. I'm not sure of that. Yeah, I don't see it on their website anymore, but there was a press release that was put out. Here, and I will put the link up on that. So it's been tried before. There are people that have built their own dishes and radio receivers like Jerry was just mentioning. So there you go. Let's see. Robert Wilmore says, Heath helped me yesterday figure out how to fix up my Explorer Scientific First Light 10-inch. Thanks again. That's very nice. And Stefan says the Space Force logo looks a lot like Starfleet and Star Trek. I think that was on purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think? So anyhow, another piece of news I wanted to announce today. On Monday, Carol Orge is going to come on with us. He's the president of the Astronomical League, and the Explore Scientific is announcing that we are the official sponsor of the Astronomical League's Imaging Award. And so this is held annually, and there are prizes associated with it. And we are still working out what those prizes might be, but we have committed to it. And so on Monday, when Carol comes on, we'll talk about details of how to enter into the Astronomical League's Imaging Award, and so that you guys out there can show your, let your techniques shine and learn more about astrophotography while you do it. So I'm actually very excited about this new program, and anything that we can do with the Astronomical League, we're typically all in. So we think it's a great program overall. And what else? Jerry, you've been chiming in all along, but did you have what's happening in Jerry's universe?
I'm continuing. This week I've been pretty busy on the observatory late at night, so I haven't been getting as much sleep as I should probably. That's one thing that's been going on.
Right.
I do have an article from Astronomy magazine we can talk about. Let me share my screen. You see that?
Oh yeah.
Now this Bepi Colombo.
Okay.
Yeah. So this happened on Wednesday, so it's 2 days ago. Bepi Colombo spacecraft to fly by Venus tonight, Wednesday. Will seek signs of life. So it just so happens that it's going to pass by Venus, which is fortuitous since a few weeks ago, they discovered phosphine. So I'll read some of this. Just a month ago, researchers announced the presence of phosphine in the clouds of Venus, an indicator that microbial life might be present on our sister planet. And in a happy coincidence, there's a spacecraft scheduled to fly by this hellish world tonight, Wednesday. The European Space Agency and the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency launched their joint Bepi Colombo spacecraft in October 2018 to become the third spacecraft to explore Mercury. On the way to our solar system's innermost planet, Bepi Colombo will fly by Venus twice. The two encounters will utilize the planet's gravity to help Bepi Colombo reach Mercury, but they now also provide a chance for scientists to study Venus's atmosphere up close. So Bepi Colombo flies by Venus to slow down because it's got to drop down close to the sun. Life in the clouds. In September, an international team of astronomers using ground-based radio telescopes showed evidence that Venus's cloud tops contain traces of phosphine. On Earth, only microbial life and some industrial processes create this toxic gas. There are no known non-biological processes that could make it on Venus. The observations thus raise the possibility of life on Venus, or the gas could be due to some unknown chemical process. A less exciting but enticing alternative for scientists, so that would be interesting to find out also. The team emphasized in a Zoom press conference that they are not claiming to have found life in Venus and point to follow-up research to answer that question definitively. That's where Bepi Colombo may come in. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, some people are asking for you to give me that link, and then I'll post it.
Okay, yeah. I'll give it to you.
Said you just have too darn many tabs open for them to see what you were looking at.
That's right. Yeah. Let me. I'm gonna stop sharing right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna post it in the chat here on the Zoom chat.
I don't know what it is. It's probably lack of sleep. I feel a little punch drunk today. So,
Yeah. Okay, there it is.
all right. Let's see. And we got another question here. There we go. Wolfgang says, I got a question. All right, what's your question? We have open a chat group with members here to fix problems with software and friendships. Can we ask to open a thread about that in the forum? I don't see there's a problem with that. Do you, Jerry?
No, we've got no, if it's related to the PMC8, you can, it's just like any other thread. You can start a message thread on any problem you have with the PMC8. You can also, I created a subgroup recently about PMC8 applications that really, that's the unrestricted subgroup that allows you to talk about anything you like that's, you know, that's related to astronomy, I should say. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be related to our equipment, but it can be about other people's equipment and how you're working to get your system working better, basically is what it comes down to. So you can either use that subgroup, which is called the PMC8 application subgroup, or you can, if it's related directly to the PMC8 and you're discussing PMC8 configurations or issues, then you can just use a proper subgroup in the main or in the mounts, whatever you like to do.
Yeah, it's all cool. Jim Norwood ordered a 3X focal extender from us, and we accidentally sent him a 5X. And he asked, can I take it out and use it before I return? And I said, absolutely. You know, it's our fault that we shipped you a 5X in the first place. You might want to keep it, but you know, if that's the case, we can talk about that too. But
I think we talked about what the best, you know, what you need to use a 5x tele-extender versus a 3x.
Yeah, if you use a really long focal length eyepiece, it's got all that eye relief, you know, and that's a great way to use a 5X. You know, you get a fairly high magnification, but long eye relief at the same time. So, yeah, but Richard Grace says, did you all decide on the new Explore ES hashtag?
Oh, remember we had that talk about how to do the photography. What was it? How to do
Astrophotography?
Astrophotography hashtag.
You know, being that we have this new relationship with the Astronomical League, you know, yet another new relationship with them. I think I'm going to discuss that with Carol Orge a little bit, and then you know, so that they can also benefit from this, because you know, the Astronomical League has been so supportive of Explore Scientific. You know, I think it's a worthwhile thing to discuss with them. So Stefan says, I'm pretty sure, I told Stefan he wanted to know if he could buy an Explore Scientific telescope. And I said that Bintel in Australia is a dealer. He says, I'm pretty sure they don't stock any Explore Scientific. Maybe my next trip to the US, I'll stock up. There are a lot of people who do that. And so, you know, but, you know, I think that Bintel has discussed ordering, you know, they've been back and forth. They actually did visit our booth at SHOT Show when we went earlier this year, when people were still doing shows. So I think that hopefully in the near future, that Bintel is stocking some of the gear for you. Okay, I think that's all I have for right now. Right now, we covered Astronomy Magazine and Dave Eicher coming on, which was really exciting for us. The Imaging Award with the Astronomical League. Talked a little bit about the tracking issue. You know, maybe we have somebody that can help us, you know, pin down, you know, if we do indeed have a tracking, you know, issue, where we can identify that. And anything else, guys?
No, I think I'm looking forward to hearing about Tyler's adventure this weekend with the Star Party, and they're doing this COVID protection
Right.
stuff, you know. So it'd
Yes.
be interesting to see how that works out and what they do.
Yes. Right.
Yep.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it works out for them. You know, I'm still, you know, a bit nervous about such gatherings, but you know, I know that they're off doing this on their own. So, and I gave them my, I have like this temperature monitor, you know, touchless temperature thing, and recommended that they use it on everybody. And I think that they've got a strategy in place that's going to work out for them, but you know, we'll see.
Yeah, I've
All
got
right,
no
guys.
plans.
Yep. All right. Any other I don't, doesn't look like we have any more from the audience today. Really looking forward to Tuesday's Global Star Party. Oh, I did also want to mention that we are getting close to releasing the next issue of Skies Up magazine. Skies Up was retired at one point, and now we have Marcelo Souza, who is now the chief editor for Skies Up magazine in Brazil. And that, you know, the Explorer Alliance will be publishing it and distributing that magazine. So it's a free issue, but it's going to have some great articles in it. You know, we've had scientists from the northern and southern hemisphere contributing to this magazine. So it's going to be very, very cool. Stefan says, what's the scariest thing you had happen to you during a session? I had a close encounter with a possum that growled at me and I ran inside so fast. Okay, I'll share a story with you. All right. I mean, not scary, but like strange. And I think I've even mentioned this story before, but you know, when I was out, you know, those of you that follow the show every time will know if I told this story before. But I was at Palomar Observatory, or near Palomar Observatory, during some of the early star parties I used to do. And this group called the L5 Society came and asked me to do a stargazing event for them. I had no idea who L5 was. When I asked them, they said, oh, we're a space exploration enthusiast group. So as I was setting up the telescopes for them, I hear this kind of humming off into the background. And I'm going, oh my goodness, what's this humming sound, you know? And I went over there and it was this circle of people and they were humming. I suppose they were trying to hum down UFOs or something. I don't know if it worked. I didn't see any UFOs. But you know, definitely a group that believes in life throughout the universe. And other shows that we've talked a little bit about some of the new findings that the U.S. Navy has released, you know, with, you know, things that are unexplainable, or what do they call they don't call them unidentified flying objects anymore. What do they call them?
They call them unidentified aerial phenomena or something like that.
Something like that.
UAPs, I think. UAP, I don't know.
Yeah. So, but
yeah, unknown aerial phenomena or something like
unknown aerial phenomena, you know.
It's just a more generic.
That, you know, we're very skeptical of UFOs are now changing their mind. So you guys might want to do a little research on your own, but it is on a US Navy .mil website, and you can see the original video captures with their FLIR, I think it was FLIR systems that they were using. So
right. My conjecture is that they're doing an exercise with the drone and
see.
they're intercepting a drone system that they're testing.
Oh, now, why would they release it as an unidentified? Why would they even release that information?
Well, they never say that on the film. If you listen to the video, I don't think they ever say it's an unidentified object. Maybe they do. I don't know. Maybe, but people found that video. They released it, and whoever broadcasted it out first, I think, said it was a UFO. So that's what stuck. That's my conjecture. I don't know.
This is on the Navy's website.
I'm speculating.
Okay.
I'm just speculating. I don't know.
Statement by Department of Defense on the release of historical Navy videos. No, that's not it. Hold on.
So yeah, what does the Navy actually say about it?
Establishment of Aerial Phenomenal Task Force. This is August 14th. On August 4th, 2020, Deputy Secretary of Defense David L. Norquist approved the establishment of an unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP task force. The Department of the Navy, under the cognizance of the Office under the Secretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security, will lead the UAPTF, as it's called. So this is reports of UAPs, as they're calling them now,
yeah, maybe it is unknown. Maybe they did. I don't know. I'm very skeptical.
Yes, I am too, but
the government's lied to us before. Let me put it that way.
No, that's never happened, right? Okay, so here, I'm going to share this Wikipedia, and it probably has a link to the Navy stuff. They definitely have the photos of it.
Why wasn't the Space Force given this task?
I don't know.
They're
busy.
That's the first question I would ask.
They're busy, Jerry.
Well, the answer is obvious. They don't think it comes from space.
Heath Creekmore. Heath, I enjoyed the flying possum theory. Yes.
Yeah, you got to read the original. This is Stefan. He said maybe they're flying possums.
Maybe they are.
Yeah.
Maybe they are. Or flying squirrels like Rocky. Anyhow. Now, that was one of the weird stories. Guys, I have many weird stories about astronomy. So, I'll tell more as time goes on. I don't want to tell them all today. Anyhow, really appreciate you guys watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Hope you have clear skies. I know it's clear here today in Arkansas. Wade Prunty says, "Hey Heath, can you get that PayPal invoice sent out to me for the pop-up observatory?" He'll be on
right after this. I'll call you right after this.
All right, that's cool. All right, so I think that's going to end it, guys. Let's say goodbye, and we'll see you on Monday.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Let me see.